Hi guys, welcome back to Southern Spirits for Life. So as you can see today, we're planting mangoes. This is a gram mango that needs to go in ground today. And here's Richard just doing some branch repair. When you move trees, of course, it's not going to be a nice smooth transition. There are some sacrifices, and so we are trimming those limbs that are not perfect, that got bent. It had to come from this trailer over here. Took us a little bit of manpower, but we did get it over here. We had dug the hole previously, mixed in some compost with the native soil, and now we're going to be putting our tree in. And so here's kind of the root ball. We'll show you once it's upright. It's just a process, one tree at a time. So this is the gram going in today. And we have quite a few more trees this size. It'll just kind of take a little bit more manpower. We'll kind of show you when it's all in. All right, guys, with a little brute force, the tree is in. And you can just see the size comparison from Richard to the tree. And then that canopy, that is what was giving us difficulty, just putting that in the trailer and trying not to mess up too many branches. But luckily, I don't know if you guys can see, but we still have a little bit of fruit left on top and some flowers. We're gonna water it in well, just give it a little TLC, and then we're hoping it'll recover. You can see now, here's the root ball, and we're just gonna secure it.
Check out the mass here, this trunk.
So that came from a pot. So this tree, it's the first time that it has been in ground. I think it was doing great in the pot, and it's gonna just take off now in the ground. This is just one of the first of many that we have to get done before the prime heat of the summer hits us. But overall, we're happy. We didn't sustain too much damage. We're hoping it'll recover. We know this year is just a transition year, and we'll have some damage. We won't have that much fruit, and we're expecting it, but at least our trees will be in ground, and then we're hoping for just an even better next year. All right, so we'll give you more footage once we get more done. So here we have a Maja Chinook mango going in the ground as well. And let me show you, but this has fruit on it already. You can see the little mangoes. Again, like with the other trees, we're hoping we can save some of the mangoes, but we know it's gonna be a little shock to the trees. We probably will lose some, but there is more flower and more mangoes towards the top and on the other side. This is what we're looking at challenging next. This is not as big as the gram tree. It won't take as much manpower, but still, it's a little bit of a feat. And then this is the hole that it's gonna go into. And then let me just show you for reference. The gram came from a tub like this. I'm not sure what the gallon size is. I'm sure Richard could tell you. This is where the gram came from, and then this is the tub for this Maja Chinook. And so you can see this tree is, I don't know, what would you say, maybe 7 feet tall? What's the gallon size on that? 25 gallon. So yep, this is what we're going to be tackling next. We'll show you once it's in. And so
it's like the panicle. It's like if there's no fruit on it, just break off the panicle, and it will send out a new panicle with flowers for like your next flush.
So we're also going to be doing some trimming of the panicles.
Just break it off like that. You're good to go.
All right.
there. Just break it off.
But as you can see, there's still some flower on this tree.
This right here, it's like if you break it off, it's just going to encourage the tree to send out a new flush of flower.
Another little mango. We're hoping we get at least a few mangoes to eat this season, but we'll let you know further in the season. All right, so we're gonna get to working. We'll show you when it's done. So planting continues. Here we have a Longan tree. It was housed in a 60-gallon container. So that used to be its home. And now this is its new home. It's not quite as hard as putting in as the mangoes. Not quite as heavy as the mangoes. Still took a little bit of work and the help of that dolly over there. We're just potting it right now. We're gonna give it really good watering. Just put it back in the native soil. Had some compost on the bottom. And then we are putting back some grass clippings because on the bottom, because we figure they'll break down and they'll help feed the plant. We'll see. Hopefully it'll just take off now that it's in ground. But it's been needing a home for quite a while. Look how big it got. This we had from just a little twig. So it needed housing long time ago, but finally got it in the ground. So this is our Longan. So now it's the turn of the Sapodilla. As you can see, this is a how many gallon pot?
This is a 45.
45-gallon pot, and you could see tons of fruit there on the tree in the pot.
And then we have the roll there.
Now it's gonna go in that hole right there. See, it's as big as Richard. Let me show you a little bit more of that fruit. We do have, this is the row that we're going to use for the Sapodilla. So we have different varieties. A total of, let's see here. Like how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then all the mangoes are across there in the distance. But it's time for this one to go in the ground. I'll show you once we put it in. So the Sapodilla is in ground. Doesn't look as big once we put it in ground, but it's still a good sized tree. Just hoping our fruit will get a lot bigger now that it's in ground. But it's covered right now, as you can see. And we did lose quite a bit in the travel, but well, travel, transport's the same thing. But just here, take a look. It's in ground already. So now we have a Nam Doc Mai, and as you can see, guys, we're using this enclosed trailer to move it. Made it its way all the way from Orlando now to down to South Florida. And if you look closely, it does have some fruit. We know that not all the fruit will make it, but we're hoping that some of it will. And then Richard's there in the back. And as you can see,
hello guys.
He has the tree on a dolly, and so that's what we've been using to move the trees. That's been such a help. So just kind of with these big trees, using things that will help you to move them and not to have to use your back so much. But yeah, we just get it in with the dolly, get it out with the dolly, and then we just kind of roll it there into our pre-dug hole. But this is what the tree looks like inside the trailer. As you can see, I don't know how many feet tall this. What would you say? How many feet tall is this?
I said about 17 feet.
And then how much gallon is the pot?
This is 120.
So in a 120 pot, so you'll see it's, you know, it's a big boy.
Yeah.
But we'll show you once it's upright. That's what it looks like there in the trailer. You know, 2.5-hour drive up from Orlando. but it was able to fit in the trailer, so we're thankful for that. So I just wanted to show you really quick. This is what we use, kind of how we use the, whatever you call it, the trolley. We just kind of use the power of its wheels and kind of drag it on down. Let gravity help us so that it won't be that much. See, from here, we'll be removing it from its pot. And then we just kind of are going to roll over that way to help the weight of the tree help us put it up so that we're not using so much force. It's out of the trailer. I'm going to get it out of the pot now, and then it's going to go in ground. As you can see, because it's a big pot, it does have some little collateral roots that were coming out, but just a few on the side. Nothing major. All our trees have done well. Just water them well. And instead of cutting them, we try to kind of push them through to preserve the roots if we can. All right, we'll show you once it's in. Have some branch damage, but you know what, when you're moving a tree this size, it's expected. We did consider wrapping up the trees, but we just thought, like, how much would it take to wrap up the trees? So we know it'll take them a little while to kind of get back to their prime, but first year you put things in ground, you don't expect much from them. So we're just hoping for them to get established this year, and then by next year we're gonna hope for a good fruit production. The goal is just to get them in the ground and take care of them. As you can see, every time I hear a branch break, it just, ugh. Alright guys, so here we go. I'm going to show you how we put the tree in the ground. First thing he's doing is he's measuring to make sure that his hole is the size it needs to be. So the goal is to the depth. The goal is to get the tree the depth of what it was in the pot, because you don't want to do too deep. You just want it to be established the same. I do have a little seedling there of a
Suriname cherry.
So we're not going to pull that out. We're going to let that go. But here we go. As you can see, he just kind of rolls it in there. Just kind of turning it a little bit to get it exactly where he wants it to go. And then just the gravity of the tree will guide it in. And she's in. Now standing up. Now remember guys, you probably want to get a tree in ground a lot sooner before it gets this size. And it would probably be helpful to have some special equipment. Since we're fighting time, I'm just gonna do what we have to do. So then I'll just hold it.
This way. Come here.
So that way he can get some dirt in. So my job is to hold. Good. All right, so now it's in ground and now it's just about putting dirt back in. Just gonna get it buried. And I think today we're gonna take a little bit of a different approach. We've been so far putting the trees in ground and then soaking the site with water. But we're thinking maybe putting the dirt in halfway to kind of stabilize the tree, then soaking the area with water, and then doing the rest of the soil. That way the roots won't have to work as hard to get that water. I'm trying to see if that makes a difference, because it is now late March and we are getting up there in the high 80s and some days 90s with the heat here in Florida. We're gonna see if that helps a little with the heat and the trees, because we have had some leaf burning. All these trees were in our backyard, so we have huge oak trees in the backyard that gave these trees partial shade throughout the day, and in some areas even total shade. It is a little bit of a different environment for them to have full sun all day. And as you can see here, that's one of our branches that got damaged, but like I said, we expect it. All right, we're just gonna stabilize it and get some water on it, but it's finally in ground. Made a 2.5 hour drive to plant this one, and then we have 2 smaller ones that are in 30-gallon pots.
Yes.
So that's our goal for today. Get those 3 trees in and then water the rest. We're still waiting for our electronic pump to be set up, but we do have a well with a pump that we get started with a generator. We get water that way. Little by little we'll set up the irrigation. But our goal today is putting those 3 trees in the ground and watering. Oh yeah, some peach trees, but we haven't decided where to put those. So that's our goal today, but we just wanted to show you kind of the whole process. It's work, but we try to do things that will help us to not be so labor intensive. All right, we'll show you when the other ones are in the ground. This is the Nam Doc Mai in its location. So we wanted to put the bigger trees to the front of the property as a wind barrier. And then as you can see, we do still have some fruit on there. We'll give you an update to see what survives and what makes it. It's in ground, it's watered. We gave it about 50 gallons of water, and then we did like we had mentioned. We watered it halfway and then finished watering it once we put all the soil in. We're hoping to get better results that way. That's the Nam Doc Mai and its final location. And then we'll walk over to the gram. Remember earlier we were doing this gram and I never showed you the final location. So here it is. Richard is going to climb up there because we sustained some damage. So some of the pinnacles there are damaged and brown. So he's going to be removing all those. And then that's the location of the gram. We'll update you in the future and see what fruit survives. But for now, Thank you for watching. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, and then we'll keep making these videos to give you an update. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.